before we get started, I actually want to say at the beginning of the episode, I think we have a solid day on when we're recording Zyra live on Twitch. It'll be July 31st. Yeah, probably around I want to aim for 9 p.m. just to be safe, I guess. Sure. We'll say 9.
Sure.
Yeah. Because we never know. EST, 9 p.m. EST, twitch.tv/loreheads. We are going to record Zyra live. We probably won't have a ton to talk about with Zyra. So if you have questions for us or anything like that, or you want to pop in, yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're excited to see y'all and hear from you. And
I don't know if we'll see them.
Oh, we'll see them.
Oh, okay.
We'll see them.
Forgot about the secret cameras.
the viewer cams.
The viewer cams.
We have been installing those across not just the nation, but the globe.
The world.
The world over.
Yeah, while this is not the end of the podcast, this is the end of an era. So, we'd love to have you guys there with us while we record.
Mm-hmm. And if you can't make it, the VOD will be up, and we'll also put it on our YouTube as well, so you can catch it there.
And your absence will be noted.
Mm-hmm. We'll still be watching on the cams, though.
So don't worry.
To see what you're up to instead.
Shit, fucking Elden Ring? Come on, man.
We're going to take attendance.
No one's going to come now. This is horrifying. I know, right? We really made this.
No. I think overt bullying.
Right? You have to bully people to make them love you. It's the secret.
Heads, and welcome to the League, exploring the League of Legends lore from A to Z. My name is Rebecca.
And I'm John.
My name is Mark.
Today we're talking about the Chronokeeper Zilean, who was released April 18th, 2009. Basically right at the beginning.
Yeah. If you're old enough to make it into the original cinematic, that's how you a real old one.
Yeah, the old Smash lineup.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
And then they forgot about him ever since, I feel like.
Hey, they remembered for a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. He got some Journal of Justice. He got into Runeterra.
Nice.
Yeah, he made it to Runeterra.
Yeah, he definitely has a bio update.
Big into Runeterra.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
They mentioned Ishtal. I was like, okay, this can't be the original. The original bio.
Right. They mentioned
that was wild.
Not only did they mention it, well, I guess we'll get into it, but yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Not just mentioning Ishtal, but mentioning things about Ishtal that I don't feel like we found out about when reading about Ishtal.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Details. Mm-hmm.
Well, what does he sound like? What are the 9 quotes would we like to each pick? Okay, I knew that was the one you were going to write down, honey, so I didn't do it.
Because I love his inflection so much in it.
It is really good. Okay, I'll go first. The way is always the same.
That was good. Can I do 2? Because he has a different voice in Runeterra.
Yeah,
go for it.
Oh.
So we'll do the League one. I like it because it is just an old guy, right? It's just like, time is wasting.
Oh my god.
It's a little infirm. I don't know.
He's really about to die in that one. Time is wasting.
Let's have his lines as him just hatching up.
Right.
Then in Runeterra, he's a lot more animated. He's what do you call 2 time-traveling birds?
What?
What do you call 2 time-traveling birds?
Now I have to know. All right, now I've got to guess, man, because I haven't heard.
Guess?
Okay, 2 time-traveling birds.
Birds.
Echo, because he's speaking to Echo. In this
okay.
Oh, okay. That's not the answer, right? That'd be a shitty joke.
No, that's a shitty answer.
2 time-traveling birds of a pair of paraclocks.
Wow, you were insanely close. You're like so close to that. I feel like you're fucking with me. A pair of ducks.
Fuck. I was thinking like a parakeet. That's what threw me off.
You were on the
I
right
knew it had
track.
to start
You
with para, but
you were so close that you, in fact, just
you
like
randomly muted yourself.
Yeah. Oh, now we can hear you. Okay, that was interesting. You weren't frozen,
geez.
but you were completely muted.
You're very animated.
Discord's
in
trying to
fact.
stop the jokes.
Yeah, Discord was like, "Fuck you, Mark," and your paradox.
Yeah. But yeah, his voice in Runeterra is really different. It's a much more, like I said, it's more animated. It's a lot more zany sounding. I like it, but mostly just because it feels like it has a lot more
Personality.
energy to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Personality.
That's groovy Zilean, that one, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana.
He does say, like a banana.
It reminds me so much of fucking King Louie from Jungle Book.
Oh.
Have a banana.
John,
Man,
you seem to really know the Jungle Book. The movie. I feel like that's one that you must have watched a lot as a kid, huh?
I didn't think I did. Maybe I do.
I think I only saw like once as a kid, so like I don't remember it as well.
The
I've
name's
seen it a
Louie.
fair amount.
Have a banana.
Banana.
I don't remember that bit. I remember what he sounds like, but not that bit specifically.
Right, so on the Riot Universe page, Zilean has a bio and a short story, of which he's not really part of, I don't think.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, he
Jax's
said that.
short
I got confused
story.
because I didn't.
It's
I
like
didn't
Jax's
reread it 'cause
long
I know
story.
he's not in that.
I also didn't reread it. I was like, he's not fucking in this.
Not even referenced. Like those.
No,
clear.
it's not. So we're not even going to talk about it. But it's linked there.
No.
You know what the reference is indirectly is I think he has a quote in one of his bio, I think, that says specifically where Acathia once stood.
He does.
Which is the name of the short story. So
yeah.
that's his entirety of relevance.
Link it.
I know. Yeah. Must have been it. They're like, well, where Cathia once stood is in his bio, so surely that's his short story. No,
Right.
it's not. They just really liked that line.
They control F'd and they were like, oh,
There it is.
okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah, he's in it.
It's like, do you want to read the story? Make sure, dude. It's long.
Have you seen
It's
how
a
long that shit is?
Yeah. It's about Jax, something about eggs.
What am I, Jaxacathia Cocoon? That's his, I don't remember his full name, but I'm going with Jaxacathia Cocoon.
Sijax, something or other.
You weren't even close. How much of this cream have you had, honey?
I'm sticking to
And
it.
sipping.
He's sipping that cream. Zilean was just a normal guy in Acathia. He joined Acathia's Council of Mages, which they made after having like a mage king for a while who was like constantly trying to get Shurima to stop expanding the empire but was defeated by the Ascended. And they were like, listen, man, you're not doing a good job. Can we have council instead? I think that's what happened.
Pretty
I
sure
assume he
Gone
was
Done
just
died.
Deposed or
Yeah, they,
killed.
like-
yeah.
They
they
fucking
just
murdered
killed
his
him.
ass and
That's
then-
right. Yeah. Anyway. Zilean.
For the record, just as another tie to where Acathia once stood, the one soldier in that one who's like friends with Jax and well, I guess he's the new recruit, not like the veteran friend with Jax, but the one who's trying to remember his name throughout the story and then forgets it at the end is either a descendant or just took the name of that mage king who got killed.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I was reading it and I was like, why does this name sound so
Excellent.
fucking familiar?
Yeah. Although I was reading all these X's and I had a thought. So they say Ishtal, right? Does that mean that like Jax is pronounced like Jash?
Jash.
And Ashamuk?
I
and shit like
fucking
that?
hope so.
Jash.
I hope so.
Josh. I
Hello,
can't
Josh.
wait to hear the fucking league casters pull that shit out at the next LCS event. It's like, no, guys, this is
please.
more accurate Jax. Trust me. This is
I would love it.
Jash.
Josh.
It's kind of fun to say. It sounds like
Nostradamus,
it sounds
Jash.
like our daughter is trying to say Jash. Oh my god, by the way, our kid, who
we
doesn't
talking?
say anything, she's like very speech delayed. She has a handful of words. I was getting her into her car seat and I said something like, this is bullshit or something. And then she immediately went, shit. And I was like,
Come
girl,
on, man.
the one thing that you fucking say, you're trying to say shit right now? Anyway, Zilean was an elemental mage. He was trying to master time because even the Ascended are affected by time. Kind of, Zilean, I guess.
You know, it makes him go a little crazy.
That's
You
true.
know, yeah.
Resentment was building in Acathia as they were like never treated as equals to Shurima. No one there was ever chosen to be ascended, even though they totally deserved it. But Zilean knew that any attempt at a rebellion would just get everyone killed because of the ascended. So Zilean went off hoping to find some allies to back them up if a war began. Everyone said no.
Fucking kick dirt, asshole.
Yeah, they were like, absolutely the fuck not, my guy. And it was a good call. They literally have god warriors. When he got home, the council had crowned a new mage king and excitedly told Zilean about a new power they found, the Void, which could surely defeat the Ascended. They're not wrong, but obviously when they attempted to use the Void, it overtook them, Acathia fell, etc. But Zilean did his best to save as many people as he could. He guided them to his tower and then removed the tower from time itself. I don't know where it is now. It's like floating in between time. I'm not really sure.
It is in all times.
It is in all times.
All times, everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere, everything everywhere.
All at once. Outside of the tower, Acathia was gone, but everything inside, except for him, was completely frozen. He has no idea how to undo like their little time warp. So Zilean like learned how to move back and forth through time, and like the moment where his tower was frozen, but accidentally witnessed the end of everything in Runeterra. Like, he came across the end of the world, I think, when exploring. Which one do you think won?
Right?
There's a lot of world-ending things.
This sounds like a void world.
It sounded like the void.
It seems like an undoing.
Yes, it did seem like that. So now Zilean exists everywhere, in all time and place, and always has, is how they explain it. He seems worried about like the butterfly effect. I don't know. I was very confused by the end of his bio, but he does still want to save his people somehow. That's Zilean.
Yeah.
And like anything that has to do with time travel, it's a little complicated and doesn't quite work because time travel just is really hard to make work.
Yeah, they try to cram a lot of things into like the last two sentences.
Yeah, I was very confused.
Yeah. I like that this bio, it's been a minute since we've had a bio that ended with like a pointed question. And this one has a nice one where it's like, he wants to save everybody, but how many will he sacrifice to do so?
I know. It really comes out of nowhere, because at no point did it seem like Zilean was going to attempt to harm anybody.
Like,
I don't know.
Listen, anyway, he's really like, I got Benjamin Franklin vibes off him.
Oh, I like that, yeah.
See, I got Doctor
Like,
Strange vibes.
That's,
I
mean
that
too, right? Doctor Who, big Time Lord energy. I meant like when he was before the time shenanigans, where he was just like, he's kind of a scientist who also was going around trying to like broker diplomatic deals and shit. That was like in his civilian life. Benjamin Franklin. Now he's a Time Lord or whatever.
Do you think he also has syphilis or?
Probably.
I think he was probably into farts, right?
Farts. Do you think they spell syphilis with an X there? Syphilis. Josh has syphilis. Now we just all have braces. That's what it sounds like.
Well, it's interesting that you ask that, because up until very recently, he did suffer from chronodysplasia, which is a specific disease that only he suffers from.
Cannot wait to hear his old lore. What?
Stasis transmitted disease. Yeah. Well, I thought it was funny. I don't know.
Sure. Did you just make that up, or is that actually in the? Oh my god! Okay, I thought that was like actually in his old bio. Like he had an STD and it was a.
I mean, no.
No. Okay.
Although that is about on par with how they would write it.
I know. I thought that was like a Journal of Justice thing or something that he would.
I wasn't even 100% sure, and I was pretty sure I had gone through all the articles.
That was very funny, Mark. I'm really sorry.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
No.
The fact that you came up with it makes it good.
Makes it funny. I thought that was legitimately in his old lore, which would
not have been funny and would have been shit.
It would have been a little strange.
It would have been strange,
but also on par.
Because that would have been official lore that they wrote for him, and not just some jockheads in a podcast making fun jokes.
Wow, I feel like, I don't know, I've been painted with some sort of brush.
You did play football in high school, so.
Yeah, did I make up the term jockhead? I feel like I combined jockstrap and like
jughead. I didn't catch that you said jockhead.
I've certainly never heard jockhead, honey, but
we're gonna pretend it didn't happen then, and we'll keep going.
if we ever do bonus content around like esports, that's what we'll call it. We'll call it jockheads instead of warheads.
I fucking love it. See,
everything happens for
everything happens for. Thanks, Zilean. You drove us here.
Anyway, how do we feel about Zilean and his lore here?
I can't help but think that, like, is Acathia just the Blessed Isles? Like, I remember reading at the very beginning, like it said, Acathia, most desolate and cursed of lands, and I was like, excuse me, the Shadow Isles would like a word. And then it followed up with like, theirs was a rich and diverse civilization. And I was like, the Blessed Isles would like a word.
Ladies, you're both desolate and barren and just a fucking wasteland. Don't even worry about it.
There's enough Haggatree to go around. Don't you worry, gals.
I don't know. I think it's like you said, the time power. Like on the one hand, I kind of wish he had more written because he's got a really unique like power set. He's in a really unique place compared to almost any other champion. On the other hand, like you also said, it's hard to write time shit. Like, we have enough trouble keeping a coherent universe when it comes to dudes with swords, okay? Let alone some guy who's everywhere at all times, etc., right? Like, I can imagine why they don't want to fuck with him too much.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah, I don't hate it. I think it's kind of fun where he is, because I like that he does not seem to have any control over this power whatsoever, which is an interesting place for him to be, especially for an old man. But it would be kind of fun if he did just kind of pop up in random shit throughout time and place.
I would love that. Like, occasionally just like his
like
tower would
Doctor Who, like he's just kind
pop
of
up and be like, oh yeah, and he's been solving problems throughout all of time.
Yeah, like he's occasionally
Yeah.
there helping solve a problem because he just kind of ends up in this time that he doesn't know how he got there. I don't know.
I would like that.
It seems like in
Like
the
quantum
bio.
leaping almost.
Yeah. Yeah, except he doesn't take over people's bodies.
He could.
Yeah.
He just needs to learn it. He's got all the time in the world.
I do think they try to say in the bio that he's afraid to fuck with stuff, I guess, but yeah, I don't know, which I could see.
Yeah, yes and no,
Yeah.
I guess. Like, I think because he sees so many possibilities. He doesn't, I think something that's maybe not talked about as much in this bio, unless I missed it or I'm forgetting, but I feel like they do actually hone in on in his cinematic for Legends of Runeterra, is the fact that, like, he's not seeing a consistent timeline. He's seeing every possible iteration of every timeline. So, I mean, it seems like
Yeah, I don't
he
know.
would know that. I mean, yeah, any change can make a difference, but also, like,
Things are constantly
any other
changing
change can also
all the time. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really get it. And, like, I don't know what this effect would have on a person, you know?
insanity.
Yeah, like you're seeing every kind of possibility. I guess he's not constantly seeing it all the time, but he's just...
Which I think they actually touch upon in his old lore.
Is he very
His old lore was
lonely?
more like that. He was a lot more nutso because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. There's just not a lot here, right? So it's
Yeah.
kind of vague in terms of the specifics,
Yeah.
right? In terms of where he's at. And we can look to Runeterra, like, his release came out before they said, like, it's all one shared universe, but there's not really been anything out for him, and they put a lot of stuff in that relates to him and really defines a lot more of what he's up to currently. So I think we can look at it as like, it's like 65-75% likely that this is kind of what they're going to do with him, right? Where he's building out a network of mages that he's trying to gather up chronomancers or train them across different times. He's got some people who are researching the void itself to try and find a solution, which I like that idea a lot.
That makes
just
the most
broadly
sense to
speaking.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's kind of sending his little mage apprentices, like he'll send them into a time portal. Like there's a really good little set of cards where it's this young apprentice, and then it's the older apprentice, and the story is that the apprentice like pops into a time portal and immediately pops back out like many years older and like vastly more experienced because it's time travel, right? There's no downtime. So that, and he also seems to have had set up a bunch of automatons kind of in different points in time that are just kind of set to awaken and do whatever it is that they're supposed to do at the appropriate time, and they run a lot of what goes on with like his tower and some other shit he's trying to do. Because the other thing they kind of establish in Runeterra is that his tower, even though it's, I guess, outside time, whatever that means, the Void is still like has access to it in some way and is constantly trying to encroach on it. So it's like a constant fight to kind of keep even that sanctuary. So I don't know. It nails down some of those things a little more. It's a little more grounded.
I feel like, because I didn't dig into the Legends of Runeterra stuff much. I feel like the more you describe it, the more it sounds like the timeline agency from Loki. And like,
I didn't watch Loki.
Yeah, me neither.
But probably, right? I guess it's like it's more tangible than it exists outside of time. And like I said, whatever that means, we don't know what that means. It instead seems to be something a little more concrete. He's a little more grounded as like a person. It seems like, he's not like lost in a weird time malaise or anything like that.
Yeah. Connecting into the Void does make the most sense to me. It seems like he would have a really big investment in that.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea of him kind of popping up just the right moment during like a Void event or something like that.
You hear us right? A Void event?
A Void event. I think he would be really important to it, and just kind of at just the right time, exactly when he's needed, he appears.
Yeah.
That would be fun for him.
I like that.
I do think Zilean, though, he's a really fun character in League. He's a really cool concept, and incorporating him into their universe is a little tough, which I get. So I think he's probably always going to be a bit sidelined in his own little time pocket. I don't know where he is. Time pocket.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Inside, it's just all possible realities and a nice flaky crust, right?
And always just slightly too hot or slightly too cold.
Slightly too much void, who knows? Too much unmaking of all reality.
There are void creatures frozen with him, too, by the way. I think that was mentioned in the bio. Like, in his tower, I think void creatures were also frozen inside of there, which is interesting.
And in the retcon short story, there's even some void creatures exploring the tower.
Oh.
Wait, which,
That was the Vel'Koz piece that,
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, that,
Yeah, I forgot about that. That Vel'Koz one, yeah. That's weird. I feel like this talk of him kind of showing up at random events to help makes me think a lot of Bard. Would that be... there's a lot of similarities there. They're both kind of these random helpers. Be interested to see what that's like.
It'd be cute.
They want to do something with that. They definitely understand that there's a clear line, like through line between him and Echo, and I'd be interested to see Echo. I think we had talked about it before, but maybe like leaves. I think we had talked about him leaving Zon. As we've seen more of what's going on in Zon, that feels a little less
likely.
Like what likely, or maybe like less aligned with what is going on. But
especially with like Arcane being canon.
Yeah,
I could see Zilean going to him though, because Zilean,
like that,
if he would likely feel these disruptions in time. Like Echo, he only goes back 12 seconds, but he does it a lot, and it is. I mean, it's a big deal.
I get an alert on my phone every time you do this shit, dude.
Why the fuck are you doing this?
Actually, now that I think about it, I'm reversing my stance on Arcane being
good.
Evidence.
Oh God, you heard it here first.
Oh shit! No. I thought maybe he was less likely to leave Zon because Arcane is canon and he's so tied to it. But in Arcane, he's now also tied very closely to Heimerdinger. And
so he's going to Bandle City.
Heimerdinger is very worldly, has seen a lot of crazy magic destruction shit, and is, from Bandle City. So, I mean, there is actually more potential for a leaving Zon team up there.
I don't know.
Especially because we thought that one of the main things that was tying Echo to Zon was his connection to his parents and his friends and all that. And
they're all still alive and fine.
And maybe they're all still alive and fine, but I have reason to believe maybe that's not the case.
Honey.
And it seemed like he had a I mean, he built like a great underground there, but he also had a pretty clear second in command there that I feel like if Heimerdinger was like, let's go on time shenanigans.
They better call it time shenanigans.
Maybe there'll be some horrible event that'll be so destructive and dramatic that being able to go back 12 seconds is not enough or whatever, right?
We have to find Zilean.
Yeah, you gotta go find something stronger, something better.
I wrote a note here.
Okay.
This was about their government. They said that they had accepted an offer of autonomous satrapy. Mm-hmm. Did any of y'all know what the fuck that is?
No, I did Google satrapy.
I
Googled it.
Yeah.
So it's a province governed by a satrap. So
yes, I
you're
did
welcome.
see that. And then I looked up satrap.
You looked up satrap?
Yes, I did look up satrap after that. Although I forget what it was.
All right, Mark, hit us up.
I always just thought they were like a vassal state, right? Like that they're. I always assume that they're like that was my understanding of it. Is it's just a vassal state essentially?
Well, there's a word for that already.
I think.
Why would they think of two words?
Okay, it's a provisional governor in the ancient Persian Empire.
Persian specifically.
I know satraps are like you said, they kind of originate out of like around the Middle East, and they hone in so hard on like the Egypt iconography with like Sharia anyway. I assume that's why they use that word. But it does make me question, like, what does it mean for them to be an autonomous vassal state, assumedly with some sort of governor or like somebody they answer to?
I didn't understand that at all.
Right?
I don't know.
I mean, this is maybe a weird comparison, but it sounds like Riot pre-buyout, right? Where they were like just an autonomous vassal state with Big Daddy Tencent at being like, but you do your own thing, but don't fuck up.
I mean,
or we'll. And then they fucked up in China, and Big Papa Tencent came by and took it back.
And then Riot unleashed the Void.
That's some Riot history for y'all, folks.
I thought it was interesting that what seemed to fuel so much anger in Acathia was that they weren't getting selected to be ascended. It wasn't like that Shrima was like taxing them a bunch or like levying a bunch of their soldiers or whatever. It's like, how come we never get picked to be the Hall Monitor? What the fuck is this?
I like you equating god warriors to hall monitors.
But I love the idea. So the quote here too is, again and again, the council submitted petitions to the distant emperor, yet access to the sun disk was denied without explanation. And like, you know what magical superpowers need like more of to make them cooler? Paperwork and red tape and jurisdiction and bureaucracy. I want to learn about the trade routes, is what I'm saying.
I'm sure that shit just gets sent into a fucking bin.
Right?
Yeah, they don't care.
That's part of Zareth's job at court. It's just like setting ablaze all of the petitions from Acathia.
Blast these with your magic. Yeah. Go ult this shit. Yeah, I don't know. It's like it doesn't matter that much. Like you said, it's just funny that like that's what made them so pissed off that they unleashed the Void.
Yeah,
they didn't get the gold star or whatever.
We did mention like the little tidbit of Ishtal information here that we didn't know before, but so it said he was Zilean was an elemental mage with a prodigious understanding of physical reality who had studied under the greatest minds of the age, from the great Yun of Ishtal to the astromancers of Faraj. And I feel like this is the first time, unless I'm forgetting, that we're realizing that the Yuntal that currently govern Ishtal were named after
a person.
Just a person named Yun.
Yeah.
Who may have been a founder, but maybe not. Like, I don't know how old Ishtal is. But maybe he was just, or they were just, I don't think it specifies, but we're just like a great governor.
Yeah. Some bomb-ass mage. Yeah, it feels nice and subtle. Yeah. For like a little world-building detail.
Yeah.
Well, that's his bio, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's canon Zilean.
Well, there's one other piece, actually, that I'd like to touch upon.
Okay.
Another even more direct reference in a short story
honey.
that is not linked anywhere. You do see
a horrible word here.
But it's the novel.
Okay, it's the Ruination novel.
Zilean shows up in the Ruination novel, folks. You guys remember that whole thing where Viego ends up going to the Blessed Isles because he heard about some cool bomb-ass healing magic there? You know how he learned about the Blessed Isles? Reading a scroll written by Zilean, talking all about the Blessed Isles.
You exist in all time. Why wouldn't you take that? You could see the outcome of this.
Yeah, just go scribble it out.
Right?
Right?
Like fucking shut your trap, Zilean. Just don't write the shit down. You keep it in here. Or keep it in your tower.
Keep it in your tower, Zilean. You fucking dirty dog.
Maybe it all works out, right? You can't have something without the other. You can't have.
Sure, something worse would have happened if Viego didn't mess up the Blessed Isles.
Zilean saw our YouTube numbers and was like, man, they're never going to take off unless we get a really shitty event for them to bitch about.
We
appreciate it,
Zilean's fault.
Honestly, thank you.
Bless.
Id.
Ow!
Thank you.
We had to finish the trifecta. I want to go over some old lore?
I do. Apparently he had an STD.
Yeah.
Now, I wrote down... I took notes on his original bio, which predates the Fields of Justice and the League. I don't know which version you read.
I read two versions. The first one was oddly, I don't want to say poetic, but it was like it was interestingly written. Did you read the version where it's like he's got a bunch of clocks? Is that the version you read?
There are a lot of actually, hold on, let me see.
How many clocks? Because Mark said a bunch.
It talks about
he says he tinkers with thousands of clocks.
Yeah. I read that and then the follow-up version. Right.
So the name of the place he lives changes, I think, 3 times that's in the first 3 versions. But the original one, he's in Urizan.
Yes, and it changes to Uristan in the second version that I read.
Interesting.
And then I think they take another I out eventually, and it's just Urtstan.
They could not figure out. Some real J-Lo shit going on here.
So I'll do the original bio.
Sure,
I just kind of it's like a paragraph long. I just kind of grabbed it all here. Rising from the cracked, dried lake beds of Urizan is a tower shaped like a huge grandfather clock. Impenetrable and unassailable, there are no doors into it, nor any openings to climb or fly into. There's no water or vegetation within 100 miles of this structure, only the desiccated remains of what was once a beautiful, flourishing lake, now destroyed by the ravages of war and the hands of time. This is the way he wants it. The man who constructed the tower out here in the middle of nowhere. He has no need for supplies. He has no desire for visitors. Inside, Zilean tinkers with his clocks. They cover his workshop, hundreds of them, maybe thousands. Some work, most do not. He's obsessed with time, for he's both blessed and cursed by it. Blessed because he has discovered the way to manipulate time, making it move forward and back at his whim. Cursed because each time he does, he leaves a little piece of himself behind, doomed to see the world how it was, is, and eventually will be, all at the same time. That is why he lives here, in the middle of a drained dead lake. When he looks out the window, he can see it as it was, hundreds of years ago, beautiful and alive. But at some point, he must look away, for watching it be destroyed over and over again for all eternity could drive even the most solid mind insane.
Huh.
I do actually I kind of like that explanation for why he is everywhere all at once. It's like he goes somewhere and he leaves a little bit of himself behind, and now he can just see from there. So it's kind of like he is everywhere he has ever been all at once, as opposed to just everywhere all at once, but like I kind of like that. Got a little bit of a Zack vibe, you know, just leaving a little bit of himself,
Leaving little goo puddles around.
Little goo puddles everywhere.
Oh, Zilean, what are you doing, man? You're leaving goo
Keep
everywhere.
it in the tower.
Yeah, keep it in the tower, dirty dog.
Yeah, there's something about the way that one is written too, compared to like so many other old bios. It's like there's a little bit of, I don't know, I don't want to say artistry. I feel like that's a little too strong, but like someone was trying to be, convey an emotion and things.
Yeah,
right.
It's got a melancholy vibe, you know.
Okay.
Like that's not something that they
It's
went
not just
for
like-
often.
Yeah, it's not just like Zilean was a you know.
Yeah.
It's like it's a little more. The second version of the bio is pretty similar. The biggest change I noticed was that like the rune wars are introduced, and that's something that he is kind of ruminating on to try and prevent when a bunch of unknown dark knights show up and fuck up Uristan. And they talk about how the dark knights, when they attack, purposefully leave him there because he doesn't help because he's busy in like a weird meditative time trance, I don't know, and they leave him there because they know that it will, like, as a punishment, they know that it will like mess him up, and then he gets his time dysplasia disease. So it's a lot less poetically written, and it's this weird addition of like, there's this unknown band of villains who did this to him.
Yeah, it was weird.
Just like whatever.
And
I
they
don't think that ever
introduced-
gets followed up on.
What was it? I always forget the name of it. What's the barrier called? Is it just the Great Barrier?
Reef.
I have no idea.
Remember
I
that
don't
thing
know
that
what
like
you're talking about.
everything south of it's where I think the desert area was, and like everything that was basically destroyed was like south of the Great Barrier.
That sounds about right.
But yeah, they introduced, they were like, oh, we got this great fucking idea, guys. It's called the Barrier. We have to implement that in this story. And now he shows up in a couple of Journal of Justice articles too. Actually, more than a couple. A couple's a very specific amount.
Is this gonna be our
I lied.
last time talking about the Journal of Justice?
Probably not. Zyra's pretty.
You think Zyra's in the
Surely
journal?
Zyra.
I think Zyra's probably in there.
We'll see.
Who else are we gonna do? Is it just
Zoe
Just
and Zyra.
Zoe? Oh yeah, she won't be
Zoe's
in there.
definitely not.
No.
Well, first up we got issue 11, The Mailbag of Justice, which might be the last time we say that.
Well, until I ask you to say it in the bedroom.
And we record that for some reason for you, the fan.
No.
Zilean's affliction with chronodysplasia and his struggle to find a cure is common knowledge by today's standards, but little has been said on his current status. Has he made any breakthroughs? Is he recruiting the help from Rise or Heimerdinger? Since it's considered a disease, would Dr. Mundo have any valid input on the case?
For sure.
Yeah, totally. So they just mentioned chronodysplasia is unlike anything that's ever been seen on Runeterra, and the magicians at the Institute of War are probably the only ones with the knowledge and magical power necessary to find a cure, which was the reason Zilean initially came to the League of Legends. Zilean has been
Did
in
they say
constant...
magicians?
They
Sorry,
did
I
say
gotta interrupt.
magicians. That is a direct
Okay,
quote.
I'm sorry,
Not
what was,
mages.
The illusions.
Is this your
Zilean.
timeline? Anyway, you can continue. I'm sorry.
Let's see. So Zilean's been in constant contact with Rise, and their latest attempt to cure chronodysplasia uses a form of magic similar to that used by the summoners on the Fields of Justice. As Zilean is seized with visions from the exact point in time that Urtistan was destroyed, he shares his mind with Rise, who examines the illusions for anomalies. So far, they've been able to pinpoint distinct pockets of strange energy. They have found that the most powerful and puzzling energy sources emit a magical aura that gives off a waveform nearly identical to that of Zilean's own mind. Beyond that, the Journal of Justice staff has no further knowledge, but with Rise deep in research on the subject, the answer is sure to come soon. It won't
come at all.
No. There's also an article in this about how Gragas started a brawl over facial hair grooming in Noxus, just, and the brawl could only be abated when the League agreed to do a grudge match with only champions with facial hair. And, Zilean's just kind of mentioned as someone with facial hair, so...
Well, that beard brawl had happened, right?
Plug it in.
I actually don't.
It didn't happen.
Oh, I was gonna say. I don't remember. That would have been cool.
We should make it happen.
Right?
Yeah.
Make it happen. Next Patreon
You gotta
content.
understand, listener, at the time, beards were like a really big meme. It was more timely.
Let's see. So next up, we got issue 14, where Jana has revealed she has a new Zeppelin that she built. Not nude Zeppelin. A new Zeppelin named the Tailwind, which uses Zilean's chrono magic to reach never-before-seen speeds, and she's going to be piloting it in the upcoming annual Zeppelin race. Get hyped, folks! And remember, this is also pre-God Jana. She was just a Zonite mage at this point.
Right.
You know, went up to Piltover.
She's above Zeppelin racing.
She's
now.
above Zeppelin racing
God's
now.
something
But
Zeppelin.
not in issue 24, she's not, because it's annual Zeppelin race time. That's right. They revisited a thread from 10 episodes prior. So it's Piltover versus Zon, except, to be fair, Piltover is using Jana, who's technically a Zonite, and Zilean, who's also not from there, and using his time magic to remove the Zeppelin from... There was a big storm during the Zeppelin race, and they used his time magic to just remove their Zeppelin from the storm entirely. So they easily win. Zon is, admittedly, a little pissed off about this, but Piltover is the judge, and they're like, innovation! So they win.
I forgot they were the judge.
Why would Zon even participate?
To be fair,
I feel like today
Zon
Zon
had
would-
won the past. I think they said, was it like something? It was a crazy. It was at
Some
least
number,
beat at least 4 up to 8. I forget
that
which one of those.
seem like a lot.
I mean, to be fair, it is a race. It's hard to like say, okay, well, I know you finished first, but
Yeah,
we really wanted
that's
it.
true. Yeah, we really want it. We need this win, guys.
And then finally, the issue with no number. The issue just titled "Breaking News,"
What?
where Kalamanda, on the verge of destruction due to the war between Noxus and Demacia happening right in its midst, is covered in a time bubble to stop all the combatants. And you're not going to believe this, folks, but that time bubble they put on top of Kalamanda, that used ancient Zilean Urtastani techniques. So they actually even consulted with Zilean, because after they put the time bubble in, obviously they had to like get the people out. They couldn't just put the time bubble up and then drop the time bubble, because people would still be fighting. So they had to put the time bubble up and then extract everybody from the time bubble. And Zilean had to tell them exactly how to do that, because there was a risk of everyone in there getting chronodysplasia.
I like that. They're like, hey, can you freeze everybody? He's like, yeah, sure. And then Dewey is like, okay, now how do we get them out? He's like, oh,
Shit.
I'm like, I don't know, you got a wood chipper?
You were unspecific with your wish. Sorry.
Right.
If I could redo my life with the memories I have now, I would do everything in my power to get on the lore team at this point in Riot's history, because writing for the Journal of Justice sounds like it was so much fun. They had so much freedom. No one was saying a no to them and their ideas, right?
Right?
What
a time.
That's true.
What a time.
Wild West.
And
Yeah.
I like...
all of their little artistic renderings of all the authors, they look like the actual people. That must be fun, having a little
True.
cartoon artist render of yourself.
Sure. Let's get those commissioned for us. Little portraits of ourselves in the style of a Journal of Justice contributor.
Yeah, if you are listening
Right.
to this right now and
And
you
you
were
know how to
part of
do
the
that.
art team who handled the initial, making the artistic versions of the rioters who were writing these articles, please reach out. We'd love we will pay handsomely.
Well,
Maybe
Yeah, put little Hextech goggles on my ass.
on your ass.
Sure. Right. That's where they go, right? I like Zilean's characterization in the Journal of Justice. He's kind of like a handyman. He's just doing odd jobs. Right? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Little
I guess the
time
Kalamanda thing's
jobs.
a big scale. Yeah.
He didn't even do the
That's-
Kalamanda thing. He just like they used his
He was
techniques and then
consultant.
he was a consultant.
You want to freeze a bunch of people? Sure. You hear a drip and you're not sure where it's coming from? I'll take it out. Sure.
I like this
Need a
plumber, Zilean.
Right? Need a clock fixed? I can't actually help with that because I have thousands and most of them don't work.
I can't figure it out.
It's the one thing I can't do. Now, we mentioned the short story. It's called Instrument of Destruction. So this is the story where Vel'Koz is wandering around Acathia and finds Zilean's recently vacated tower. He realizes that the tools here have... they've existed in multiple times at the same time. And there's really nothing like them on this plane. So he vows to learn everything he can about them. And as he's leaving, he sees a bunch of other void creatures about to go in and just like destroy the place like they do with everything. And he's like, I kind of like this place. Just fucking lasers all of them.
Interesting.
Yeah, I forgot about this. I guess because it's not canon, but it's an interesting line of discussion. I don't know, of storytelling. I kind of wish they would pick it back up. Maybe if they do
Yeah.
anything with Vel'Koz.
It is interesting because Vel'Koz is a creature of the void, which Zilean would like to stop. But Vel'Koz is so
Yeah.
different, and him trying to absorb knowledge and information. I don't know. That is interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, so man, something was interesting.
Like a
So
little
bye. It's not
weird
canon anymore.
respect almost between the two.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I just love the idea of like Zilean having an arch nemesis too, and it's fucking Vel'Koz. Like you just wouldn't think it by looking at him. It's this big
Yeah.
old
None of that Volibear meme shit from the boards or anything
Right.
like that.
No.
Now there's a few cinematics here too.
Let's do it.
Obviously, Clash of Fates. He's there floating right at the end in the sky next to Anivia, which I feel like something that is not discussed enough in old lore or new lore is like, where's his power of flight? Those clocks aren't moving fast enough to elevate him. Where'd that come from?
Yeah.
We think they're like helicopter, like they're going.
I never thought of it that way, John. Is that how you were imagining how Zilean flew?
Maybe.
Since the hands on the clocks are going so fast. It's like a helicopter.
That's why he goes so fast.
I love that skin, though.
And then we've got Guardians of the Ancient. Now this is the Legends of Runeterra cinematic,
Okay.
where Zilean's watching terrible things happen.
Sure.
Mostly related to Noxus doing shitty things to Ionians. And Zilean's giving a speech about basically how sad it is to see people making the same mistakes over and over again. But then he talks about how if you don't like your fate, just pick a new one. And then he watches different versions of all of the events that he just watched where Ionia wins.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah, which I guess is easier said than done if you're just kind of sitting in your temple watching them play out, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta look up his skins.
I know, right? You want to hear about some AUs?
I do.
Sure.
Mark
yeah.
seems really enthusiastic. Sure.
Sure, whatever. Just fucking
Sure,
get on
whatever.
with it.
I'm just trying to remember what skins he has. I'm like, when you say that, I start racking my brain to remember skins that aren't groovy or like his, like the old ass skins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? Well, then you're going to love this. We're going to start with The Grind, Mad Scientists. The job requirements are pretty simple. We're looking for at least 5 years of experience in applied sciences, your last peer-reviewed paper, and 2 references. Oh, and an evil laugh. Actually, put that one on the top of the list. And this is Time Machine Zilean, which has a no lore.
Of course.
And then we got Ages of Runeterra, Chronicle. Legends are tested, shaped, and forged by their pasts. This is Shurima Desert Zilean, which has no lore. But then we've got a second The Grind,
Oh.
Day Job. It's a living. And we've got Groovy Zilean, consistently in a near comatose state from peering across the time-space continuum. Zilean's more recent hobbies include being terrible at hacky sack, paying way too much for a ticket to awful music festivals, and ordering too many pizzas. He also owns a New Age bookstore which is closed most days.
Oh my god, I love it.
That's pretty good.
The
That's a good
cuckoo
one.
clock, too. I don't think I ever noticed that. I'd be friends with him.
Right?
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Just eat pizza and go to his
Just
closed
has
bookstore.
pizza in a bookstore all day.
Yeah. He's definitely got weed.
And beat his ass in hacky sack.
I don't think I could beat his ass in hacky sack, but I trust that you
Sounds
can.
like you could.
Sounds like you could, yeah.
Next up, a darker turn. Moons of Ionia. Blood Moon. An ancient cult seeking irresistible power surfaces on nights of the blood moon to perform profane, esoteric rites, merging their flesh with demonic spirits and becoming one with an ever greater darkness. This is Blood Moon Zilean. Manipulating the lunar cycle by fueling his temporal magic with human blood, Zilean is the face of the Blood Moon cult, and a hellish warlock of unimaginable power. His mind exists across the flow of time, communing with legions of demons from the past, present, and future.
Whoa.
And then we got Sugar Rush. From the gingerbread castle to the root beer sea, the licorice mountains to the gumdrop forest, this is the Candy Kingdom in all its glory. It says Sugar Rush Zilean. For most denizens of Candy Kingdom, there's never enough time to eat all the sweets. For Zilean, there's never enough candy to fill all the time. And a fun fact about this one, Sugar Rush may in fact be related to the Culinary Masters universe, due to both being food-related and the fact that the animated gingerbread cookies seen in the Sinful Succulence Morgana splash are the same as the animated gingerbread cookies from the Sugar Rush Zilean splash. And it seems like Zilean may be the one providing these magical cookies. You know, just a theory.
It's got weird time, yeah.
I feel like in another life, John, you could have been an anchor man.
You can still do it.
I don't have the mustache for it.
That's okay. You don't need to be the
it's
Will Ferrell
2024, man.
anchor man. Yeah, it's not the 70s anymore, honey.
And we got Snowdown Showdown. Better start building that snow fort. As we got old Saint Zilean.
This is such an old one.
Though many Santas compete to give the most holiday cheer, Zilean's mastery over the flow of time lets him deliver huge numbers of presents in an instant. So far, this has not created a reality-annihilating Snowdown paradox. So far.
And
then finally,
his Santa outfit is sick in this one, though.
yeah, it's like a good old-fashioned Saint Nicholas.
I mean, he's got old in the name.
That's true. You gotta. Let's see. So, Tales of Borealis is when the air grows crisp and the first snow falls, look to the sky, for Polaris will appear. Do not be afraid, for if you've been virtuous without expectation, you might be rewarded with the Aurora's blessings. But remember, no matter how you act, you cannot take your fortunes for granted, because Polaris comes every year and no one escapes punishment. This is Winter-blessed Zilean. Sage Zilean bowed his head in supplication as he took the hunter's place before the Aurora's judge. His request was for more power to help calm the spirits of his followers. As he talked, he was oblivious to the Aurora sheen of Polaris's hair flickering red as she watched his pronounced humility. Something was stirring inside her, a roiling winter storm. Now, in case you don't remember, the Tales of Borealis, every time they release a series of skins in this, the stories for each of the skins kind of go down to tell a full story. So the story of this one is basically Diana is the Polaris, and Swain is a hunter, Zilean is the sage, and Zoe's a warden, and they all come before Diana asking for gifts. For their own, seemingly pretty good reasons. The hunter's like, oh, I need to feed my people, and Zilean does his thing, which I already have forgotten. Help calm the spirits of his followers.
He wants to cool people out, chill them out.
Yeah, be chill.
He should get groovy, Zilean.
Right?
He would for sure succeed
he would
at
do
that.
shit.
Yeah.
Just give him pizza and hacky sack.
Mm-hmm.
So they all
pizza and hacky sack.
Not hacky sack pizza. That's a different thing. No one likes that. So yeah, they all ask for gifts. After hearing their pleas, she creates Warwick and Shaco for them. Shaco's kind of an automaton. Warwick is kind of a just a beast, I guess. And those are the gifts that she has given to them.
You're welcome. Here's a rabid dog.
Right? And to be fair, the hunter sees Warwick and is like, yeah, I can use that. And then Zilean and Zoe look at Shaco and they don't want to share. They're like, but we both have to share this? That's bullshit. So then Diana's just like, winter is cruel and warmth is meant to be shared. Let this punishment serve as a warning. And just pieces out and kind of gives the nod to her beast and her automaton, just fuck them up a little bit.
So bizarre.
The boots to him, medium style.
Oh shit. How is it? He's so old and has so few skins.
I know, right?
Well, he's got a really unique silhouette. You have to work around that giant clock. I think that's hard.
That's true.
While we were doing this, I was thinking, what skins could he be in? And I'm drawing
He
a blank.
needs a nightmare skin, because, you could do so much fun creature stuff with his bombs.
True.
Yeah, I definitely
certainly
think, a Halloween one would be really fun.
He needs a visual update, man.
Yeah.
He does,
look at
and I
his
think he's
design.
gotten one already, but, it still looks so bad.
For his model, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, effects are one thing, but when you look at his the card art in Runeterra, and then you look at that in-game model, and it's just god awful. Yeah.
Y'all want to hear some fun facts?
I
There's
do.
actually not a ton of fun facts either. You know? Zilean is voiced by Christopher Swindle in Legends of Runeterra. And
no voice actor credit for the OG.
I know, who fucking knows who the OG one is. Like Jax, Zilean is more than 3,500 years old, as he was present during the fall of Acathia.
At least it makes the most sense for him.
It does.
Probably more than almost
I'm
anyone.
fine with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with this.
It's also been a while since we've had someone who was 3,500 years old.
That's true.
And we're going to be going probably immediately into... Well, not immediately, but very close. Yeah. Oh, no, immediately into another one.
Immediately, yeah.
Zilean is one of only 4 champions with a single damaging ability.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting on this one is that, Tryndamere was another one, and it didn't occur to me. It's man, Tryndamere does so much damage, and it didn't occur to me that he has one single damaging ability.
Those damn auto attacks.
Time Bomb is the only in-game ability that does not scale linearly per rank.
Oh.
So, most of them, every time you go up a level, it'll go up 10 or 15 or something like that. His bombs go up 75 and then 40 and then 50 and then 65 and then 70. So it goes...
What?
It's down 25 and then up 10 and then up 15 and then up 5.
Wow.
Okay.
Why?
Who fucking knows?
That's
wild. Yeah.
John, why'd you do that?
John, why did you
Sorry.
ruin Zilean?
Zilean was the very first champion to have a basic ability that could not be ranked up at level 1, with being his Rewind. Could not take Rewind at level 1. And then there wasn't another one until Azir came out.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
And,
do you remember when Zilean's Rewind thing also worked on his ult, and you were just constantly slamming it, on cooldown?
Does it not? I haven't played Zilean in a minute.
It doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't do it as ult anymore.
Yeah.
His ult just has a naturally short cooldown now.
Yeah, I think there are other things that might lower the cooldown. I don't remember now, though. But anyway.
And then, if you've never read it, Zilean's backstory kind of resembles Slaughterhouse 5.
Oh, I've never read it.
Yeah, I can. I can see that. Yeah. Wow. I did not think we'd be mentioning Vonnegut. That's wild. I didn't think about that.
The classic dude bro novel, by the way, Slaughterhouse 5.
That's all I have for fun facts. Although you did just remind me of the fact that that whole rivalry between Zilean and and Volibear, just like at least on the forums, just because of Zilius and Volibear. Which isn't just a fun fact. It's just kind of something that happened.
I like that it didn't like qualify for fun fact.
Yeah.
It's not fun, but it is a fact.
It's a fact.
It is a fact. Don't get it twisted. This is facts. But I only share the fun shit.
Pine.
And by that he means the things he finds on Wikipedia.
Yeah. Sorry, Tom Cadwell.
Oh, well, that was Zilean. Any final thoughts there? No.
I don't know. No.
We'll see him in the MMO. We'll see. We'll visit his tower in the MMO in 25 years.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
That could be the fast travel in it. It would be Zilean's tower.
I'll be kind of open to that. I'll be open to it. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening to Zilean. Jesus.
Nailed it.
I'm drinking a Diet Dr. Pepper right now, by the way, so I'm not really sure what's going on with me. Maybe I'm too sober.
You need some sipping cream.
I needed some sipping cream. Get nice and trashed for this episode like John did.
Get Zilly Liddy.
So bad. You're gonna embarrass Poppy so much. I can't wait. I cannot wait until we start incorporating whatever fucking weird ass slang that they use when they're older. Anyway, we have a twitch.tv/Lawlerheads. John streams on Saturdays. I don't know when I'm gonna be streaming again because my stuff's all broken. I don't know, it's not working. But John streams on Saturdays. He does TFT and ARAMs with viewers, and now that Swarm is out, Swarm with viewers.
Fuck yeah, Swarm!
So if you wanna do that, head on over. And as we said at the beginning of this episode, it is where we're going to be live streaming our Zyra episode, July 31st at 9 p.m. EST, twitch.tv/Lawlerheads. And we have YouTube. If you can't catch that live stream, you can find it on the YouTube along with lots of like clips and the actual video of the episodes. We do record them. We look great.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah.
That's us. We have a Discord if you want to find people to talk to that aren't us, because we're so annoying and horrible. I don't know what's happening.
It's about to get inspirational any second now.
Vicious over there.
If you want to find some friends on the Discord, and we will talk to you sometimes too if we see the messages.
Let's be clear, if you ping us, we will not see the messages if you don't ping us.
Yeah,
let's be clear.
I follow the ones about books, so if you post in the reading ones, I'll see that. Anyway, that's our Discord. We have a Patreon. We just posted another video finally of us. Which one happened?
This was our
No
Zero Mastery.
Oh yeah, really not a good idea. We all played champions. We had
idea.
Zero Mastery in. We recorded another video that night too, so that'll be up soon. It's $5 a month on Patreon. If you wanna see some bonus content or hear some bonus content, we got a backlog at this point. I recently remembered that we reviewed Silent Hill 2.
Woo!
Forgot about that one. I was flipping
How did you forget? It's such a good movie.
I was flipping through the notebook that you gave to Poppy to color in, and it had your notes for the movie Silent Hill 2, and I was like, oh, jeez.
Nice.
Forgot about this gem of a film. And that Jon Snow is in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, why is Kit Harington in that movie? Anyway, thank you so much to all of our patrons.
But a very special thank you to our Medarda tier patrons, Mr. Dead and King of Hearts, who, for the record, is also in that Zero Mastery video with us. If I had accidentally stuck you in time in my tower, I wouldn't fuck around. I'd figure out how to get you out and fix the shit, Zilean.
Yeah, Zilean. Damn.
Would you dust them off? Like, go make sure that like the birds weren't like
absolutely.
hanging out
I would
on them, anything like that.
Be your own little personal scarecrow.
There's just birds shitting on all of Zilean's people. Anyway, please be sure to join us next week for our second to last champion episode as we talk about the aspect of Twilight, Zoe.